Hey guys, it's Alexis. I am back with a brand new video. Thank you for being here as always. Happy Monday. Today, I am talking about how to persist, how to maintain the story, how to maintain your focus in times of doubt, why that's necessary, how you do it. I will touch upon how to change an SP and also how I interpret the everyone is you pushed out. I'm going to give some personal perspectives that I have acquired over the years that explain the phrase everyone is you pushed out from a more psychological, subconscious NLP perspective, which I think is very helpful. And I'm also going to use our friends that we have not seen in a while because I pull these out with a client, the wands that help you illustrate and understand why persistency is so necessary. I've used these in past videos. My son has not gotten a hold of them yet, so let's use them for a video. All right. So before I get started, like always, the links for booking one-on-one coaching, one-on-one hypnosis, the links for all of my pre-recorded hypnosis audios and courses are in the box below. And I want to say too that one of the courses that I've not talked very much about is my Happily Ever After course, the course that I use to manifest marriage with my husband and my reality. And also the tips and tricks in there are also what I used when I was pregnant to maintain my mental diet, to have a natural birth the way that I did, and for all of it to go well. That's not something I've talked about very much, but if you're interested in those topics, marriage, proposal, how to maintain your mental diet with a new adventure, which was also pregnancy for me, and I also use the same techniques in the postpartum phase, that is the course for you. Okay. It's got hypnosis. It has my perspective on reality, reality creation, reality change, and it's got a lot to it. And it's one of my favorite courses because it was also, I made that course while I was pregnant and right after we had gotten married, because I had manifested the marriage, I had manifested the pregnancy, I had manifested the family. I finally did it. So I was like, let's put this into a course. Okay. So grab that. Information is in the box below. All right, so let's get to the topic. Why do we have to persist? How do you persist? How do you do it? Why is it necessary? I've got some notes written down. Now, first of all, like I said in my video from last week, is that if you're not persisting and if you want to give up, right? Like let's say you're doing affirmations, you're doing conscious creation exercises, you're understanding that you're the creator of your reality, and you want to give up, right? The last video I did was about don't give up, because giving up is giving up on yourself. You're giving up on your dream, your desire. What you want to do instead is understand that persistency is so key because of the way that your mind is set up. Your mind is set up to bring up what it knows. Now, for most of us, what it knows, like let's say you are creating, let me think of a good example. Let's say like you've had a couple kids and you want to get pregnant with the third child, because I'm talking about pregnancy earlier in the video with my course. And let's say you have had two kids and you want to have a third kid. Now, let's say that there were some complications. Like, let's just say some stuff happened without getting into nitty gritty medical things that we don't want to focus on, and to get that third child. Okay. Now, if you are going to take any measure, let's say you were going to just do some things, like let's just say it was vitamins, it might have been medical, in order to get pregnant with that third child, right? Now, what's going to happen is this. Your mind, as you take steps to do things, think things, affirm things, let's say you're doing it all, right? I do recommend taking action in your reality as long as it's from the appropriate thought, you guys. Action is secondary, thought is first. But let's say you're doing intentions, affirmations. I'm getting pregnant. I'm becoming a mom of 3. I love being a mom of 3. It's so amazing. Okay. As you do that, you got to be aware that what's your mind going to do? It's going to be like, oh yeah, but like a little birdie. But yeah, remember, like, let's say your name is Brenda. Brenda, remember when you tried it that time? Remember the other time? Remember that one thing that happened? Remember this? Remember like your mom had issues with the third child, whatever. Or like Susie Q you met at the park also had an issue with the third child. Okay. Your mind's going to remember and remind you and tell you of all the reasons why you can't have it if you've had issues. And that's the same thing with an SP. You are changing your thoughts about a person. Like, let's say He's all into me. He's calling me. He wants me. He needs me. Papers are flying. He's got to have me. He's all about me. He wants me. He's all into me. Like, let's say basically that you're thinking those things to create those things. What's the mind going to do? It's going to be like, it's going to have this little blip. It's going to try to do this. He's not calling. He never called. He's not into calling. Like, let's say you're trying to get Joe to call and Joe doesn't like phone calls. It's going to tell you, oh yeah, he doesn't like the phone. He doesn't like being on the phone. Now, this is the way the mind is working. This is the way the mind always works. So it's not something that we should be surprised about. Also, if you wrote in a video, how to change an SP in my previous video, I'm not sure which video that comment was written on because I haven't seen the comment. It got sent to me. If you wrote me the question, how do I change an SP? Please watch over 200 videos on my playlist before asking questions in videos where I've talked about things. I guess people on YouTube just write whatever they want to write. Okay, if that's you, fine. Okay. But I have over 200 videos on how do you change an SP, and this explains it also. Okay. So anyways, the mind's going to try to tell you the old story, the old thoughts, the old story. That's where in every video I'm talking about what's a new story. And persisting in the new story is necessary because the mind will gravitate towards the old story. Look at it like this with our friendly wands. Now I've got 3. The client that I use these with, you know who you are this week. We used pink and orange and yellow for the desired reality, not desired reality. So I'm going to grab those. Okay. So let's say that your ideal reality is the pink one, right? That it's like, yeah, he's calling, like even whatever it is you're creating is over here. The mind is automatically, as you affirm and as you think, is going to go to this stuff. Oh yeah, remember when this happened? Remember when that happened? Remember when this happened? Remember when that happened? Blah, blah, blah. And you got to be understanding the wanted versus not wanted, the mind discussing what it wants and then gravitating towards what it doesn't want, that this is what your mind is hardwired to do. Your mind only will repeat to you the story that it feels safe and secure and stable in. Now, the problem is this. Our minds actually, as a conscious creator, when you're first doing this, your mind is associating safety, stability, security with what you don't want. Do you hear me? It is associating safety, stability, security with what you don't want. Actions of what you don't want. When you're in this place, right? It's like, oh, hey, Brenda, go do something. Go make it happen. Go talk to people. Go get reviews on YouTube of like pregnancy things that work for people. How do I create a third pregnancy, right? This whole I don't want is going to get you to take actions from what you don't want. And we don't want to do that either. Okay. What you want to do is like, let's say we go back to, I believe it was Brenda, right? I talked to so many people all week long and a lot of people have multiple SPs. You guys, you've got to bear with me. You know, if you're one of my clients, a lot of people these days have multiple SPs because they're manifesting one guy and then they end up meeting another guy like that as they're manifesting guy number 1. And guess what? The guys oftentimes have similar names. Like, how am I? You know, that's why I take notes. It is comical at this point. So if I misuse names in session, you know, it's just an accident or in a video, but it's not interesting, right? Like, what's that saying? Jacob, Jack, oh, that, you know, that phrase, that American phrase, Jingleheimer Schmidt, something like that. It's kind of like that. It's like Jimmy, Bimmy, Mimmy, Timmy, right? All the SPs are all kind of like rhyming, like just fascinating. There is never one day of my job that is the same. Okay. So anyways, little comedy for a Monday. You got to persist and you have to know that this is how the mind works. Now, if you accept it and you're like, all right, my mind is so geared towards that old story, then you don't have to resist and get so mad at yourself either about your mind going to this story. You got to be like, well, I'm just, you know, more gently and more easily focusing on this story because this is who I am. I am the woman who gets pregnant for a third time easily. So easy for me to get that third child going. I'm so fertile. I'm so pregnant. All of my hormones are creating pregnancy. Let's say she's married. My husband's ready to go. We're ready to go. We're making this happen. That would be this story, right? That's a very quick way, affirmations to do that. Now, I want to say too, for you guys who are writing questions in my videos are not one-on-one coaching. They are tips and they are things I have pulled from clients to explain reality creation, right? But that my videos are not a DIY here. I'm not DIY showing you how to color your hair so you go do it yourself, right? You always have to remember that your mind is programmed to focus on what you don't want. So get some help to focus on what you do want, okay? And if you write me questions about your own personal story in comments, I'm not able to answer those either because my videos, again, are principles. They're sometimes success stories, but they are mainly discussing how reality creates. I can't go into personal stories, okay? But you can still write them. I can't answer them, okay? We're also not supposed to, all right? So, yeah, you guys, that's why persistency is key. Now, if you accept, this is how my mind is working for everything, right? You go to buy your first condo, you go to buy your first townhouse, you go to buy your first $1 million property, you want to level up in your career and you want to become CEO of the corporation, right? You're always, the mind is going to try to trick you and be like, guess what? Remember all the people like you that didn't get it? You can't get this because of X, Y, and Z. And you got to be like, listen, right? That's why with clients in session, I'm always like, listen, right? You got to stop it. Now, I will let you, complain for a certain extent. I will let you be upset for a certain extent, but not to the place that you're going to convince me to get on board with it and be like, yeah, right. We're in this reality, right? He's so this, he's so that, you're so this, you're so that. Sucks. No, absolutely friggin' not. Right? Now, how is the easiest way to get a hold of what you do want versus what you don't want and to focus? It is understanding that this is how the mind works. And it's understanding like, okay, underneath all of it, what's my self-concept of me? Who am I? Who am I in the reality of the chosen reality, right? I am sought after, I am pursued, I am pregnant, I am fertile. The I am statements are not something to think of lightly. Your I am presence, your I am statement, who you are declaring you are, right? In love and relationships is the basis of all. I've done, again, over 200 videos. At some point, it's going to be over 300. I've got to look on the channel and see how many videos I've ever done. But I'm really busy in the rest of my life, okay? So anyways, I'll make time. Anyways, so you guys, like, this is not anything also to get mad at yourself about. I can't tell you how many clients weekly are consciously creating and then getting mad at themselves when they fall victim to this stuff, or this hasn't yet come through. And they're like, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing? It hasn't yet happened. There must be something wrong with me. There must be something that I'm missing. And my question is always, okay, well, if there's something missing, then what is it? If there's something going on with you, that's the missing link. We have to think about it, sit with it, investigate it, and ask the mind, what's going on with me? The thing is this, you guys, even if you tell me right away, I don't know, you do know, because the only person that is projecting and creating into their reality is you. It's not me. It's not anybody else on YouTube. It isn't your mom, your dad, your sister, your husband, your boyfriend, your whatever. It's you. So you know the reason. Now, the thing is this. The caveat to all that is, if you're telling yourself you're missing something and something is wrong, then you're creating, again, what you don't want. Something is missing, something is wrong. You want to stay on the appropriate thoughts and create and decide what is happening instead. Okay. So there we are now to my, everyone as you pushed out, what is my perspective? And how are people misusing this phrase? People are misusing this phrase when it's like this. Okay, so I went to this baseball game, Alexis, and all of the people that were at the baseball game were talking about, like, let's say they're talking about how the divorce rate or something, right? And you're really working on staying married. I am married, okay? And everybody around you is talking about the divorce rate, like, let's say in America, okay? I cancel delete that for people that are not wanting divorce, okay? And then you come back to me and you're like, oh my God, it's me pushed out. I totally created that. And I was also trying to tell them, like, hey, you know what? There's the other people that stay married. Okay. You don't have to do any of that, you guys. Like in my reality, when I'm going out and just like living life, not talking to clients, not doing a video, I am immersed in my reality. I'm focusing on what I want. And like nothing that anybody says is going to take me off of that. And I'm not going to take it on as, oh, that's me pushed out. I created that. So, oh my God, what do I have to fix about me? Okay. The easiest way about it is, oh, I create my reality. So that has nothing to do with me. Like that's something that other people experience, right? Because in our 3D reality, Very rarely are you ever going to get to the point of creating your reality where everybody is all honky-dory. There's nothing going on. I don't know. I mean, if you're at that level, let me know what's going on with you. Okay. But I live in America. I live in a very populated, dense city with a lot of stuff going on. And there's a lot of things going on. Now, do I make it all about a negative of me? Absolutely not. My life is great. I'm going where I want to go. I'm creating all the things for me, my husband, my son, my family. And I'm not going to take on everyone else's story and get me out of that. You don't have to do that. Right? That's probably what you've always done. Now, people that are saying this to me are also, maybe a little bit more overthinkers, tend to overprocess things, take things on from other people, tell people that they're wrong, want to hold their stance, fight for what they want, fight for what they believe in. We've all been there. There was a time in my life where I was like that, I guess. But, you got to ask yourself, do I want to be like that? That's really not utilizing everyone as you pushed out. Okay. The way that I actually think of everyone as you pushed out is not even using that phrase, is that reality is a creation and a projection from you, and that it comes from you, and that you are the main star in your experience, in your reality. So how are you going to look at things, right? How are you going to be affected by things? How are you going to choose to think when things happen, right? You always want to bring it back to, oh no, but it's great for me. It's, as much as you can. Now, in times of crisis, I can just hear people asking, well, in times of crisis, like with things going on in the world, do we create those? Well, I don't really have a necessary answer for this. The main topic we're always talking about here is love, relationships, and SP. And that's what I focus on. Okay. So it's just like with your SP, when they're doing something, saying something, you don't got to take it on like, oh my gosh, there's so much to fix. No, you want to go right back to what's the reality that I'm creating? What's the reality that I want? Where am I focusing? Where am I bringing my thoughts? This is working out for me. I am the one that is pursued. I am the one that is chosen. I am so loved. I am so adored. I am so wanted. I am so loved. I am so adored. I am seeing that I'm loved and loved and loved and adored more and more. And this is all coming together for me. He loves doing things for me. He loves calling me. He loves making it happen for me. There is an example of a mental diet for someone. Okay. All right. So let's see. Now, I have written down, this is just a sort of a holistic question, right? That I like to think about is, if you are being affected by the this and the this whole conundrum, right? And you accept that it's part of reality. How are you showing up for you? What are you doing for you? Mostly all people I talk to want someone to make them a priority, put them first, move mountains for them, tell their friends and family about them. You'd think these are basic things, but most people really aren't experiencing that these days. If you want someone to do that for you, you have to also really focus on your self-value, self-stability, self-security, self-safety, showing up for yourself, doing things for yourself, caring for yourself in a way that they would be caring for you too. Now, I've said this in so many videos, and a lot of my clients, at times get angry. It's like, oh, well, do I have to be totally happy? Do I have to be totally pampering myself and doing all these things and going to the gym and eating healthy? And do I have to lose the weight or get this, get that in order for him to come back and to be with me? And my answer is no, but it will be easier for you to focus on your self-concept when you're treating yourself and putting yourself first as a priority. And you can make yourself a priority, even if you're a busy person, right? Like you take care of your parents. Let's say you financially help somebody. You're doing these things while not negating self, while focusing on self. Well, the question is, how do I do that? It always comes back to your thoughts, your perspective, and your perception. If you are constantly in a mode of being the victim, like this is happening to me, I take care of everybody and nobody takes care of me, blah, 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 blah. The person missing out is really you, right? When you're a constant state of being in a victim mode, like it's not happening, I'm not getting it, they're not doing it, they're not taking care of me, nobody is here for me, nobody shows up for me, nobody loves me, blah, blah, blah. Do you really want to be that anymore? Do you really want to have that self-talk, that self-chatter? I would say no, right? So you got to get out of a victim mode just because it's not helpful to anything. And it's definitely not this reality, right? You got to get to cause, you guys. You got to get to create reality. Reality comes from me. Now, if you're walking around saying everyone's me pushed out, I now know law of assumption and I'm done with law of attraction. I hear these things, right? And you're still being victimized by reality. It really doesn't matter. Okay. There are teachings all around, all millions of books these days written about how to be cause, how to be the creator of your experience. That is what we're trying to do here. Nothing else really matters, right? You can understand, oh, my assumptions create my thoughts, and you can overanalyze and over logisticize it. But like for my overthinking clients, loves, which is a lot of people that book sessions with me, you don't want to do all that. And please, like, the law of attraction is the same as law of assumption. It really is not that different. I don't know where this whole thing came from, this internet sensation. Now, you book coaching with me, it's going to say law of assumption because that is what our community and everyone likes these days, right? But if you read about the law of attraction, it's saying the exact same thing. It's thought creation, being the cause, being the creator. Thoughts come from you. Thoughts are things, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is this, is that most people really resist changing their thoughts. Now, you got to change your thoughts all day as much as you can to focus on what you want and figure out what the appropriate thoughts should be. Okay. This has become a video, like always, about things I didn't expect. Okay, how are you showing up for you? We talked about that. Why is persistence necessary? Because the old reality, the old thoughts will try to come in. If we just come to the principle, take all the other catchphrases, pop phrases out. Thoughts are things and thoughts creates. What thoughts are you thinking? What thoughts are you perpetuating? What thoughts are you choosing? What thoughts do you think about the day? Right? You can always think of the ideas of like a day that something bad happens before 10 a.m. And you're like, oh my gosh, today is one of those days. Guess all that's telling your reality. Today's one of those days, one of those bad days. So 1 o'clock, something happens. 3 o'clock, something happens. 5 o'clock, something happens. You go to bed and the next day it's like, oh, yesterday was one of those days. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? It was one of those days. Do you see how thoughts create and they accumulate and then it creates your experience? Okay. Now, is this to say that this is the easiest thing to do in the world? Probably not. I've often said that thought creation and getting a hold of your mind and getting a hold of your thoughts might be the hardest thing that you ever do, but it's the most rewarding because it will actually get you to have the experience and manifest the reality that you've always wanted and of your dreams. So you got to monitor your thoughts, stay on the appropriate story, understand that the mind will go to what you don't want, to what you do want. It's how it's geared. It's nothing to get that upset about. It's nothing to be like, oh my God, I'm thinking those thoughts, Alexis. No, it's like, oh, right. My mind's trying to go to the old story. I'm not going to resist that. I'm just going to gear it towards what I do want. Now, if you can show up for yourself and engage in activities, do things, fill your day with things that naturally bring you joy, listen to music, get outside, bake, cook, roller skate, rollerblade, run, hike, work out, Pilates, yoga, if you can do things and you are having fun, with your kiddos, with your friends, with your family, and they're actually joyful activities that bring you into the moment, it will be much easier to think about what you do want. If your whole day is filled with, this is arduous, this is difficult, I do this and I don't like this, I'm doing this and I don't like this, into perpetuity, you want to switch things up, okay? Now, it's not to say that in times of change and like if you're going through a big life event, loss of a loved one, moving, something, right? That's going to be the time where you can expect joy every day. I'm not talking about those times. I'm talking about the everyday. What's your routine? How do you view your life? How do you view yourself? The more that you engage in things you want and do things you want, you will think thoughts of what you want. I know it sounds like rocket science, but it really is true. All right. Hey guys, I love you so much. Remember to celebrate yourself today and every day. Every day is your birthday, okay? And, oh, right, there was one more topic. I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to talk about it in a video. If you have an SP and you're in contact, kind of, but not really, and you are having anxiety about their birthday or your birthday, right? Think about, because I get asked this question a lot. It's his birthday. Do I say happy birthday? It's my birthday. Do I expect a birthday message? Okay. Now, the thing is this, if it's his birthday, I would say, well, what's going to keep you on track? What's going to help you persist? What's going to help you stay here? Is it saying happy birthday because you think you should? Because then it'll be easier to think like, okay, I said it. We're figuring this out. Or is it going to get you off track? Because you're going to be like, he never says it to me, so that I say it to him. He's not going to say it to me and get you what you don't want. Okay. If it's your birthday though, guys, if it's your birthday, use it as a way to begin celebrating yourself, taking yourself out, creating a good day for you instead of like, what are people doing for me? And then am I having a good day? Be like, no, hey, it is my day of birth. And it really is a celebration of the day that your mom and you brought you into this world and the day that you were conceived into the human world, into this planet, into this body. It really is all about you. It's got nothing to do with people celebrating you. It's all about your day of birth, if you look at it logistically. Okay. So I get asked this a lot. So I'm saying in a video, celebrate yourself. Have a day for you. Go to the spa, go to the gym, take a day off work. Really, really envelop yourself in taking care of yourself, your beautiful self concept, and buy a new book for yourself. Buy yourself the gift. Celebrate you. And then the thing is this, as you celebrate you, other people celebrate you too. That's a funny thing about reality, right? But make it about you, you guys. Make it about you because it is about you. And your reality is created only by you. So why not look at it that way? Okay. Oh, I said it all. Every little idea that I had to put in the video this week came through just like sporadically. I love it. All right, you guys, I'll see you in a week in my next video. Have an awesome day. And remember how fabulous, fantastic you are, and that you're on track, and that you're persisting in your desire, and that it's all happening for you. Okay. Love you. Bye.